here we go. Once again, set it straight with fam. Here we go again. Started with some nonsense. Talking about that Jerry Jones and his son. You know, they got to have the real sons like me and my sons. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that communicating, what that little contact they have out there with them Jerry boys and them Jones boys. Good Lord. In that press conference today, man, I don't know what's to get excited about the nonsense. You know, have some kind of mysterious hope. Like, I don't know. You know, I don't know what this thing gonna bring us because it don't make sense. So should I just say, forget it? It's gonna do some good. Why not? We ain't got nothing else to do because he ain't giving us nothing. And that press conference today was a joke. Was a joke. You know, I mean, I don't know if I have nothing because he didn't give us anything. You know, he gave us a lot of, I'm going to take this route about 500 feet over here, then I'm going to go about 100 yards over there just to get to a question that he still to this day have not answered. You know, and it was a clear question. And I want to know, maybe you guys give me the answer of why did we pick this dude? Yeah, I want to hear from you. Why did we pick Schottenheimer? Why? I want to know. Somebody call in, put a text message, put it on the bottom. You know, on the response down low after you hit
Comment
you know,
section.
yeah, in the comment section. Just go ahead and comment. It's like, hey, say something. Why did we pick this dude? I want to know. Somebody give me something good that I can like go to work tomorrow. Like, yeah, I have a good reason why we picked this dude because he is this, he is that, and that. And Jerry felt real sure about him. That dude didn't feel sure about nothing. He didn't feel sure about anything. So, but we're going to go talk about that. My boy's going to get up, he just going to go ahead and bring it in. Maybe y'all can give me something that I can, look forward to. I don't know. So, who want to take this? I want to know, what do you guys believe is the reason why, so maybe you guys can answer this question. What is the reason why we picked up Schottenheimer? Shotty. Who's going to take it?
So you want to go first?
No.
All right. So there, this is all speculation at this point. But I honestly do think that they went somebody. They're trying to go with a new philosophy here. I think they understood. They knew something needed to change, right? When it came to the offense, more or less, because I mean this is an offensive minded coach, so they knew that there was a lot of things that need to be changed. One of the bigger words that you saw in the press conference I saw that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones used was the word of the day called deference. Okay, so deference is pretty much showing humility, biting your tongue, if you will, right? Deferring to the powers that be in Mike McCarthy. All right, so there's rumors out there saying that, hey, and even they kind of alluded to it towards it too, that uh, Brian Schottenheimer and Mike McCarthy didn't see eye to eye on a number of aspects. I don't know how much it was, but I know that there was a lot of things. And Jerry Jones had even at one point said that Brian Schottenheimer was biting his lip, right? So I think they're trying to come up with a new philosophy here that has building a competitive team, and they needed something that can spark the team and go into greater heights, right? So they see something in Brian Schottenheimer from, I don't know what they see, but they see something in Brian Schottenheimer that can pretty much bring this whole entire. I kind of know what they see because he's a very great communicator, right? So he was that bridge between Mike McCarthy and the players, and West was causing, how should I say, a leveling of the boat, if you will, when it came to feeding into the philosophy of a Mike McCarthy, right? Even if he didn't believe in it, he still was like the bridge, and he was pretty much the liaison between the players and Mike McCarthy and Mike McCarthy and the players. So he's pretty much a great communicator, and I think that's who they were looking for is a great communicator.
So do
Go
you
to you, Jordan.
so do you think that before we go to you, Jordan, but do you think that just by being a communicator is what Dallas Cowboys needs going forward? Is it just the fact that eh, you know if McCarthy was a communicator, dude, 13, 12 wins, 14 wins if he was just a communicator. Do you believe that?
Well, I don't think there was. It was just communicating. I think it was his offensive philosophy. I think it's the details. I think it's has to deal with the preparation of the players too, as well. But at the same time, right? It's been reported that the Dallas Cowboys were looking to sign Mike McCarthy. So it's not like they were looking for anything too different, right? But I think Mike McCarthy wasn't having it, right? But now that he's gone, they're like, okay, this is some of the things that we need to change from last year or the years that were there. And then, one of the biggest thing is that was the lack of preparation that seemed to happen,
Okay, I
right?
can understand. I
Between
can understand a lack of preparation, but but I was just hitting off of what you were saying about the communication. What I'm saying because you know, but I guess to be a leader, you have to be able to communicate. So I guess that is a trait that you need to lead. But go ahead, Jordan. What do you think about that?
Uh, I I don't know. I mean, the reason why is because Schottenheimer is not going to give them any pushback. Schottenheimer is not going to sit there and say, "Hey, I want this guy, this guy, this guy." He's not going to care about who's they're drafting. He's not going to care about what free agents they want to bring in. He's not going to care about the coaching staff. Hey, you want to bring on Jason Witten? Bring Jason Witten. You want to hire Matt Eberflus? Hire Matt Eberflus. He's just going to be, I don't know what his thing is going to be, but Jason Garrett was a clapping guy. Mike McCarthy was Mr. Mojo. So I don't know what. I guess
a crier,
Shotty's
a
gonna be a
crier,
communication.
a,
You think
crier.
he's gonna be
He's
a
gonna be
crier?
yeah.
Well, for right now he's gonna be a communication guy. Uh, so whatever that is, whatever his way of communicating to the team, to the fans, to the franchise, to the upstairs of management, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what this Eric coaching is gonna be. We got the clapper, we got the mojo, and now
A
we got
hugger?
right now we
Well, we
got
got a hugger.
communicator. We
We got
got
the clapper. You know, what I'm saying we
yeah
got the
yeah yeah.
mojo. So now
What's his
we got a hugger now. You got somebody with sympathetic, empathy. You know, what I'm saying I know how to talk to my peoples. You got a problem. You know, what I'm saying your leg hurt. You know, what I'm saying I mean, don't worry about that running. You didn't block that right guard. Or you didn't get in there, or what I'm saying that linebacker that came in on you. But don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying because you'll be all right the next play. You know what I'm saying.
I don't know if Brian Schottenheimer's like this. I mean, he's said in his conference that he has benched Dak Prescott before, so it's not like he would shy away from doing anything drastic like that. So I mean, I
he
think he
ain't
does demand
he ain't
excellence.
benching nobody. When did he bench Dak?
I mean, I'm not talking about
Right.
during a game.
Oh, he
I'm
benched him
saying
when he was
like
already on there.
no. This
Sit
is like
down.
during
I'm
like
already sitting down.
this is during training camp, and he said like this is during the training camp. He was like, look, Dak, if you throw another interception, I'm pulling you out. And I guess Dak didn't take it
During rehearsal,
seriously.
during practice.
Yeah.
And no, yeah,
This
during training
this
camp.
this
So like,
this money this is money. Money ain't on the line. We already know how Jerry Jones is about money, So I would like to see him bench Dak during the game for sure.
Right.
I,
Right.
I
Right.
we know how this franchise is run. Whoever the
Right.
top guy is, he's going to go out there and he's going to get paid, and he's going to get the majority of the snaps. It's not whoever
yeah, I
is.
mean, but I'm just saying he's not gonna.
So
I just don't think that. I
you
think what he
think
was
he's
trying to get
gonna?
at. I don't
I
know what
mean,
he's
you
going
could
to
say
do.
all that. You could say all that when it's
I don't know what
practice.
he's going to do.
Yeah,
right? I don't
Yeah.
know what he's going to
I
do,
don't see him being
but
an enforcer.
I think I don't think he'll shy away from putting somebody down if they're, not putting somebody down, like, but like, pulling to the side, or, hey, like, you need to sit a couple rounds here, you know, to think about, I won't say like to think about what you're doing like a parent, but like to get your mind straight or whatever
Hmm.
like that. Or like, I mean, we'll see how it goes, right? But, a little later on, I'll give you all the pros and cons of this hiring though. So yeah.
Well, okay. Before we get into the pros and cons, because you obviously you had to go look something up because obviously Jerry didn't give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't give anything. And but are you guys? Are you you know um, confident that Jerry is confident about this hire? I mean, do you really believe he's confident about this hire? You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed to me like he didn't have no clue of what to say about the guy you just hired. I mean, it wasn't something like, hey man, hey Jerry, why did you hire him? What was the reason you hired this dude in last season? You know, coming in the last season, what was your mindset? You know, your mindset. Man, this was just a couple of hours ago. Did you say it okay? Did you sign the papers? You don't. Okay, look. I listen to. I subscribe to Law Nation, right? And this dude is, he's hilarious. I listen to him a lot, and this video, his response to Jerry is so crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got to check this because it was funny to me. It was definitely funny to me because I wanted to, you know. I wanted to, when I listened to the press conference of him bringing when he was talking about Shotty, and they asked a great question, and so I mean this check this out from Law Nation that I got. Check this out.
Thank you. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. This is for Jerry and Stephen. Why did you pick Brian Schottenheimer? What was it about him that you guys felt like he was the right fit for you guys?
That's a good one.
Great question.
Damn. And
Thank you.
Dude, that's hilarious, right? Because he said what I was thinking at the exact time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait, oh man, he don't have nothing
The
to
video
say.
just paused.
Right. And then he was like, that was hilarious. That was man. Look, listen to this. Again.
Thank
Hold
you.
up.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. This is for Jerry and Stephen. Why did you pick Brian Schottenheimer? What was it about him that you guys felt like he was the right fit for you guys?
that's a good one. Damn. And
Thank you. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News.
Man, look, that.
So
He
Dude,
he he
so
had to get his
clearly,
thoughts
was that a
together.
trick question? Was it
He
a
had to
trick
get his
question?
he had to get his thoughts together, man.
so
There
so
was no.
clearly
Go
so
ahead.
clearly this wasn't the Jerry Jones hire, right? There's been in the rumor mill here that this was more of a Stephen Jones hire. So I mean, I can understand why he didn't have a, have an answer for that,
Oh
and
my
that's why he had to
goodness.
take us on a long trip to
Right, right,
to get to,
right.
which he still hasn't answered why.
He
You
still,
know,
yeah, that he didn't answer that
I,
question. He went into, oh yeah, 30 years of Senior Bowls, 30 years of, combines, all to lead up in, just a bunch of nonsense about how, he's what he's done as a GM for this to be a decision. And it's crazy too, because you were saying what you were saying earlier, Dad, and then what I forgot what you said, what makes him qualified or whatnot. But my thing is, this man was saying he went to his next door neighbor and interviewed his next door neighbor, and then proceeded to say, "Oh, I didn't have to interview, you know, Jimmy Johnson's next door neighbor." Like what are we talking about, Jerry?
Right,
Like
right.
What are we talking about, bro?
But
You had to interview his next door neighbor. Why? Why? And why are you bringing it up in a press
Background
conference?
check.
man, but look,
Like,
You know,
does his resume not speak volumes enough for him? Like, Why are you talking to a player, a coach that you played with 40, 50 some years ago? Like, what? The man, you have this man's resume from last year. You have this man's resume from all of it. Like, what are we talking about? So
look, that's
this
no,
man
no,
was
no.
not
You
your
understand?
first.
You
This
understand?
man was
Look,
not your
he has
first
a
hire.
resume.
Like,
I said,
He
would you?
has a
oh my
resume.
goodness.
He had look. He had the resume. That was the issue, Jordan. He
They,
had the resume, and that's why he needs to ask
right.
What's his
everybody
neighbor
else.
gonna do? Like, tell me, what's his neighbor gonna do?
But you know
Did
what
you?
was
This man is
right,
getting.
right.
This man's getting an interview for a government position.
Look,
Apparently,
Jerry Jones is
he
like,
needs.
look. He's like,
He
look.
needs to
I'm
know.
looking at
He
this
needs to know
resume.
if he takes his trash out. If he takes his trash out, if the trash man comes on Friday, he want. I guess he wants to know if he takes it out Thursday night, Thursday morning, or Friday when they get there. I guess
Right.
that's what he want
Look,
to know.
But look, but
look. He
I'm like this though. Here I am as a devoted fan. I mean, what are you giving me that I can be sure that I can take this and be confident if the owner, the one who hired him, has issues of saying why this dude got hired? I mean, what should I, as a fan, where should I take this? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, should I be confident? After I looked at that, no. You make me even more worried that, oh man, this is going to be a horrible season again. We lucky we get three wins this season. Well, look, we can look for a better draft pick. But I'm not too sure based on that, man. I'm not too sure. What you about to say, Joshua?
I just don't. I mean, honestly, based on the players, I don't think that they're going to win. I think they'll win more than 3 games here. I mean, they're playing the Giants twice. But the thing is that he's an X's and O's guy. That's what he said. He's an X's and O's guy, and I there there's many reasons why that he. And one thing I was just glad about is that at least Jerry Jones didn't treat the fan base like they're complete idiots. Okay,
Who?
because he was like,
Wait, what? He didn't treat him like that.
Who doesn't treat the fan base like they're complete idiots?
no, in the I didn't say throughout the season. I'm saying in the conference because he said
No?
like I was
Go ahead.
maybe somewhat idiots, but not complete idiots. Like because he was like, yeah, this is a risky hire because he knew there was no way he was going to sell the franchise, or excuse me, sell the fan base on this hire. The fan base understood that this was not the most glamorous hire. This was not the sexy pick. This was not the one it was like, all right, this makes sense. This makes sense that they would hire.
But the dude was only sitting 3 inches away from the guy. Even if we thought that, why would you say that about the guy that you just hired, who's sitting right there next to you, that he was not a glamorous pick? Why would
Look,
you say that?
I think he wanted everybody to know publicly to let him know that his days are numbered. Even though it's a 4-year contract, he can get rid of that contract very quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, have some remorse, not remorse, but some, how they used to say symphony, but sympathy. You know what I'm saying? You have some type of tact, right? Show some type of decency that the dude has feelings. I'm sure Shadi was like, yeah, excuse me, but I am sitting right here. you know, you know what I'm saying? But
he understands that, and I think they talked about it possibly beforehand.
Yeah, behind closed doors.
It's not. Look. It's not like their antennae are turned off.
Yeah,
it's not like they don't. It's not like they don't hear the outside noise. It's pretty loud.
If this is who you, but look, if this is who you going with, show some type of passion and say that I am completely passionate about this pick. I know he's going to do good, and back him
I
publicly.
mean, he
Why
tried
would
on
you
the he
diss
tried
him
in the
like that?
conference. What more do you want? What more passion do you want? I mean, Jerry Jones was tearing up during the conference. What more passion do you want?
Uh, yeah, that dude had onions sitting right there by his pot. You just didn't see it. That was fake. You know what I'm saying? You know, you take that long. You know, it would trip me out because how long when Law Nation when he said that because how it shows it kind of shocked you, right? And that's what happened. That's why Allah said what he said because it's kind of shocked you. So that was it reminded me of Kevin Hart with Don John Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember this?
I'm
Listen.
like I said, and me, I'm 56 years old.
Damn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right, right.
And speaking of his age, I mean, it's
But,
funny that you say that because
that expression though, that shock, right? That's shock, right? And listen to this.
yeah,
Thank you. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. This is for Jerry and Stephen. Why did you pick Brian Schottenheimer? What was it about him that you guys felt like he was the right fit for you guys?
That's a good one.
He was shocked. See, he was shocked right there, right? And then
Damn.
And
that was 8 seconds. 8 seconds of a pause.
you know
That
what I'm
was
A
saying?
eight
long
seconds of a
second.
pause.
Right. And so he didn't know. Look. I was shocked too, because again, like I said earlier, I was thinking the same thing, and I'm looking like, wait, huh? You're not gonna? Oh no. That's what. That's all I was at. Then this dude like, damn. So I was
Brian was like, "It's your turn to talk, Mr. Jones, sir."
right. Oh man, it tickled me. It tickled me, man, because he expressed exactly how I felt about the assurance of this new hire by the owner. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, you can't convince me that you prepared for this. You know what I'm saying? And that you really 100% in on this. So and
I
He was
mean,
not even a.
if we're talking about the reports, he wasn't. He wanted Prime, and Stephen
Yep. Stephen was.
wanted
Yep.
he wanted Shotty. So if we're taking that their word for it, then that's the case. And I don't. I could see a world where Jerry wanted prime time because he wants a distraction. He wants glitz and glamour. He wants, you know, I won't call it a circuit. I won't say that prime time is a circus, but he's gonna bring a circus atmosphere, as far as media is concerned to the team. And I
oh,
think
he could bring
Jerry
attention.
loves, yeah, he'll get attention. But I think Jerry loves that.
Barnum and
But
Bailey.
also, yeah. But at the same time, too, he was entertaining Mike McCarthy for 5 days, and he talked about that in the presser. And he was like, the reason why we didn't go with Mike McCarthy. One of the reasons why is because we had this guy right here next to me. We had Shotty. When the report said that Mike McCarthy pulled out and said he didn't want the job.
Right.
So how was Shoddy being right next to you one of the reasons why you didn't go with Mike McCarthy and you spent 5 days dwelling on it? And why you say that in that man's press conference? That There's so many things Jerry said that contradicted himself or just made Schottenheimer look bad. As a fan, it just made me feel like what there's no direction. Like we're lost,
Yeah.
and we will
Well,
remain lost.
Yeah.
so I do have some breaking news here. Well, some bit of breaking news. It's not like breaking news, not about the Cowboys, but about Mike McCarthy. So Mike McCarthy has indeed decided to sit for 2026. So he definitely
Oh,
walked out
we,
during the Saints interview. It was not going well either. So the same thing that was going on with the Dallas Cowboys, there was a bit of I won't say ambiguity, but there was a bit of I would say a difference of opinion when it came to the contract negotiations and everything like that. So Mike McCarthy is now sending it out until the 2026 season.
Well, look. Okay. Let's talk about that for a second. you're talking about McCarthy. If you look at his last, okay, yeah, he's a Super Bowl winning coach. But then you talk about he came to Dallas and he got what, three 12 win season or only two? We got three win or two, and then this last one, right? And it seems
But
like he's going down. And everybody and their mom know that this dude wasn't a great game manager. You know, you can pretend like he is, you know what I'm saying, if you want to try to say, that's my guy, you know what I'm saying, he's a top three, top two, offensive, even head coach. If you want to take that route, then, you can. But reality is,
let me,
he's not a great game manager. So, and then the way what he did on Dallas, I can't see the Saints trying to give him a whole lot of money to go to, and that's probably why he didn't agree to the Saints, and not to the fact that, like, I'm gonna take this time off. No, they didn't give you what you thought you was going to get coming from a losing season from the Dallas Cowboys, and then you probably asked Jerry for something that Jerry was like, man, I ain't paying you that, even though because Jerry ain't paying you nothing anyway. So, and then he was like, I'll step. Then Jerry probably like, well, step. He went to the Saints and was like, we offer you this. And was like, man, I could have did better than that at the Cowboys. And then he was like, that's okay. I sit out the 25th season. That's probably how he went. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me, that's probably how he went. All right, what say you?
well, let me ask you a question. So in regards, and that's probably what happened too, but I'll ask you all a question. This, what as a head coach do you consider Mike McCarthy, uh, like elite, above average, average, below average, or abysmal? Jordan,
As a head coach?
We've had this conversation before. Why are you bringing it up again?
Yeah, because he is
there's a
gone.
reason.
But go ahead. Go
There,
ahead. Go
there,
ahead.
there's a reason for this. There's a reason. I'm not. There's not. I gotcha, or whatever like that.
All right.
Probably, probably average to below average.
Okay.
I'll say
Same with
average.
you.
I'll say average. I won't say below average,
Okay.
but I will say average. Only because of what he did within the first few seasons. But based on what I
Okay, see,
saw,
but the first
nope.
few seasons is with a stacked team.
Yeah, but again,
I'm
that's what I
looking
said.
at.
Looking at game management and the way he called and don't call, how he moved the game along or on outside of the offense. No, I'm not giving him. That's no. I'm
So
average.
so basically, what I'm saying is, if that's the case, then Brian Schottenheimer can't do much worse.
No, because I don't know.
Yeah, he can do. He
Yeah,
can do worse. He
but I'm
can
saying
do
that. But
worse.
see, I don't know because he don't have anything that says he's a head coach. So
Yeah, he's a.
I don't have
Yeah,
any material to say, well, he didn't do this to here. Yeah, I don't even have
See,
an offensive coach because he didn't even call players last year or the year before that
and that's
or the year before
and
that.
that's I don't think necessarily fans are upset about the hire. I think they're more upset about the process of the hire, right? And like, all right, you just like went to four people, and now it's Schottenheimer, and like, did you even go to anybody? Was it just, hey, just Schottenheimer, just right off the bat? Like, okay, we had these six days of deliberation with Mike McCarthy. Oh, nothing happened. All right, Kellen Moore, then Schottenheimer, and it was Schottenheimer just
Then
because
Jared,
Kellen
then he
Moore, and
talked to
apparent
then he talked to Dion as well.
and apparently according to the Jerry Jones, and according to Jerry Jones, he just said that they were just talking on the phone, and they weren't going to do it. There was no question in his mind that they were going to do it. I don't know if that was the case or not, but you know,
But
it is
Jordan,
what it is.
check this out, Jordan. I know you said that Dion was going to bring some, not circus, but he was going to bring attention. He's going to bring that
he's
excitement
gonna
to the
put butts
spot.
in seats.
Right.
Yeah,
So, but here's the thing, though. Okay, that he may, and I'm sure he will be because he's prime. Do you believe even that? And I know I'm not going to stay on this because he's not. We already have our head coach. But do you believe that Dion would have been a better coach than Schottenheimer?
I think I would say yes because Dion's been successful as a head coach everywhere he's went so far. I would also say he would be a better coach as far as organizational practices because I think he can convince Jerry to get this free agent or get that college player more so than Schottenheimer. And I think Jerry has a thing too where he can be wooed by somebody that has vast knowledge or that is a socialite like Dion is. I think Dion knows how to play the game with Jerry. I mean, Jerry paid money on the dollar to get Dion to go to the Cowboys and get him away from the 49ers. And so to have him back in there, I think I think just him being able to have a relationship with Jerry, you know, I think I think Dion would have been able to play the game and been successful at it, having a good relationship. Maybe let Jerry take the credit while he, behind the scenes, because I don't think Dion cares about who takes credit for, hey, I found this kid and I made him this and that. I think he'll be like, hey Jerry, we should probably take that kid and let Jerry go on about, oh yeah, it was my pick. I thought this, that, and this and the third. I don't think that would bother Dion, and I that's why Dion to me, I was like, oh, I could see that. I could see that happening. I could see it working. Um, but like yeah, we're not getting that.
Oh, okay. Wow. Now, I was just wondering because I agree with you, and but I was just wondering that even though
I I,
Dion was going to bring
I
some
also think
excitement and highlights, what do you thought about him actually coaching? But go ahead. Go ahead. What you about to say?
I also think that he would only go to Dallas if Dallas made an effort to draft his son. That's what I really think. That's why I really think
Sador?
was yeah. That's why I really think was the back and forth talking between the two. I really think Dion's probably on the phone like, I'll go if you move up and draft Shador. Like that's what I really in my head, my conspiracy brain. Because why else would he leave Colorado to play to coach Dallas? Just not just because it's Dallas Cowboys. Because I don't think he cares about that. Um, but yeah,
I don't know if he can coach his son on a Dallas Cowboy team. Although,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah, although everybody try to look at Dallas as being mediocre or whatever the case is, but I mean, we are the Americans team. They can try to take that back all they want, but we are who we are. Even though we getting messed up with this dude that don't know how confident he is. Hold on.
Thank you. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. This is for Jerry and Stephen. Why did you pick Brian Schottenheimer? What was it about him that you guys felt like he was the right fit for you guys?
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Damn. And
Thank you. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News.
That took me every time I see it.
This
But
gonna go down as one of the funniest press conferences of all time.
oh man, by far, because it had a bunch of nothing in it. That is just crazy.
Well, there was a lot of nothing in it, but there were some things that like you you kind of like were like, wait, what was said? So it was a lot of nothing, but there was something that kind of like piqued your interest. Like what it like when it came to like Stephen Jones, right? Normally, whenever we ask about things and new players being signed, what does Stephen Jones say?
But the quote,
No, what is when it comes to signing new players and everything like that in the past, what has Stephen Jones said?
I can't recall what he said.
The pie, the pie,
Uh,
right? We got to look at the pie. The pie. There's a lot. There's not this much pie to eat, right? Or whatever, right? Whatever, right? Whatever. We're not going to do that much in free agency. This, that, and the other. So there was kind of interesting hearing Stephen Jones during the press conference. He was like, "Look, we had to do a bunch of hard looking at ourselves. We're going to have to take a hard look about how we what we did in the what we do in the free agency. We're going to have to change our ways and how we do things, right?" And he starts to
He
say
didn't
free agency.
necessarily say change our ways though. He didn't say
He
change our
said no,
ways.
no. He said take a hard look. I didn't say change our
Yeah.
ways, but
I
we're going to
mean,
have to take
they
a
could
hard
take
look.
a hard look and still they could take a
Yeah,
hard look
you're
and
right.
still go
You're
get
right.
a count. a Joe Schmo. So I
Right,
him say him
but
bringing it up didn't mean
but
every season they bring up free agency. So him bringing it
but
back up again to me was just he was
I
just
will say
saying
this.
that because
It
the
was it
fans.
was it was a malarkey.
I will say this though. I will say this. If there's any optimism, right, is
Uh,
that there would be is
That
Jerry's ego. Jerry's ego, while it's not, look and hear me out, right? Jerry always wants to be right. He wants to be right. He wants to say
even when
that
Jerry's wrong, technically he's right.
right, but he went left.
because he's a
eh,
boss.
He he wants to be known as the
He'll
genius.
tell you he wanted Kellen
Look,
Moore. That's and look, Kellen Moore's in the Super Bowl, so
give me a
technically
second. Give me
Jerry
a
was
second.
right.
Give me a second. Give me a second. So, like, for instance, how he was talking about in the press conference. Oh, I was the one that hired Jimmy Johnson. I was the one with Barry Switzer. I was the one that did all this other stuff. Right? He did things what people told him not to pick, and he picked it anyway, and he was successful. So basically, what I'm saying is this: is that he is going to load the clip. There's a strong possibility that he's going to load the clip just to make sure to make Brian Schottenheimer look good, because ultimately speaking, it's going to make him look good, because he's going to say that was a hire that I picked, and that was the reason why we are going to the Super Bowl or going to NFC Championship, or we have such a strong. So there is some optimism in there when it comes to free agency, or I wouldn't say optimism, hope that they can sign some more free agents during the off season. But it's between
Yeah, because
now
I
and
don't see
April
it
or May.
because I don't see it because he hired Jason Garrett and he didn't load up nothing. He hired Mike McCarthy and he didn't load up nothing. So I don't know where you're getting that optimism from. Just because he hired Barry once or he hired Brian, I still don't see it.
He hired. I mean, they did pick up David Irving.
David Irving
They,
was a shot in the bucket. They those are the one of the ones where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that actually worked out.
Like
Like
like like
what?
like
David Irving wasn't
like
David Irving
Overshawn.
wasn't like a high roller. No, that was luck.
Like
That was
Overshawn.
extreme luck.
okay?
I mean,
What about
like
T.O.?
Overshawn. You
What
didn't
about
think
no no
Overshawn
no
was
no
going
no
to
no
be
no
the
no
way he
no?
is.
What about T.O.?
What
That
about you?
again, that was not Jason Garrett. That was Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson. That was Wade Phillips.
He said Wade Wilson.
I know. I said Wade Wilson. Well, that was Wade
But
Phillips.
like they hired no, that was 2000.
That was Wade
When was
Phillips.
that? Was that 2002? Was that
With
2006?
T.O.? No, that was like 2008 or 2009.
Yeah, okay. That was Wade Phillips. Yeah. But like they have been known
That's my
to pick up things,
quarterback.
and like so they have been known to do philosophy and pick up players and stuff like that, right? But I do got some pros and cons for this Brian Schottenheimer if y'all want to hear it.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear because hopefully you give me some kind of hope because your owner didn't give me jack.
All right.
So go
So
with it.
do you want to hear the cons first or
Let,
the
can,
pros first?
let me go first. Let me go first. Let me go first.
All right, go
Because you're
ahead.
gonna have a long one. I just want to play games. So let me play games and then you get serious.
Okay, go ahead.
Pro number one. We ain't never seen him before. That's pro one. We don't know. The unknown. Pro number two. He's young. He's not an old fart. Um, con number one. It's unknown. We don't know what he's gonna do. Pro number or con number two. He's young. We don't know nothing about him. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. All
Wow.
right. Do y'all want to hear the cons first or the pros
Sure.
first?
Give
Let's
us,
we'll go with the
give me,
cons
Give us
yeah,
first.
the
give me,
bad first. Give us
yeah,
the
give us a
bad
con
first. Give
first.
us
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
bad.
Go ahead.
All right. All right, here's the cons. So one, whether he's a good coach or not, it's irrelevant because as I was saying you guys
Man,
before,
it's irrelevant.
right? A good coach or not, the hiring process was flawed, right? They didn't really go out. They didn't interview Glenn. They didn't interview Ben Johnson. They only interviewed a couple of people, and they were like, Schottenheimer's their guy, right? So that's one big con. Like they didn't really, and just like just like the coaches did, just like the coaches did, the players did. Phil also, like I don't give credit for them finding Tony Romo. I don't give credit to them finding Dak Prescott. Those players just fell into their laps and they just so happened to pick them, right? Second con. Last three head coaches. So out of the last three head coach searches, um, there was only one that featured an interview with someone that was completely outside of the organization, and that was Mike McCarthy. So out of the last three head coach searches that the Dallas Cowboys did, right, only one had an interview with somebody that was outside of the organization, right, or they didn't know anything about.
All right. Okay.
So, and that was already working for the team. Three, Brian Schottenheimer's offense has, on average, finished 17th in scoring, 21st in yards. They finished more in the bottom 10 yards per game than they spent in the top half of the league. So he spent more years in the bottom 10 than even the first half, and then in the top half of the league in offense.
Wow.
So 23 to 32 more times than he had been at least 16. So okay. So no team has shown, and number four, no team has showed interest in Brian Schottenheimer at all. And the admiration, the interest
At
or
all.
admiration
At
that the Dallas
all.
Cowboys had, no interest is showed in Brian Schottenheimer.
That's sad when nobody else is asking about you. No one asks about you. You know what I'm saying? That's wow. Wow.
So here's five. Last time Brian Schottenheimer was hired by someone who he hadn't previously worked with, that was back in 2012.
For the Jets.
So like pretty much saying like, all right, that was actually with the Rams, and he was offensive coordinator with the Rams back in 2012. So pretty much saying, all right, you're the guy. You know, even though we haven't seen you before, but we know that you're the guy, not somebody that's hiring from within, or hey, I've worked with this guy before, he needs to come onto my staff. Like the last time somebody was like, all right, we're going to interview this guy, even though we know nothing about him, and because he's really good, that was back in 2012. So that was more
so basically, you are the guy that no one else want.
That a lot of people want.
No,
I don't
that
even know
no
if
one
it's like
wanted.
no one else is what. You know what it sounds like. It sounds like he's good at. He's a good communicator. He's good. You know.
All right, hold on. Let me finish.
He's good. He's good at building relationships and holding his job. You know.
All right, 6.
That's what
Pete
sounds
Carroll
like.
is.
You say
Pete Carroll,
how many of these cons do you have?
hold on, I got 2 more for cons. As you guys notice, this is the cons I just been writing down. Pete Carroll is the only head coach right now who has hired Brian Schottenheimer, who is still in the NFL to this day, who's hired by an NFL team. And Pete Carroll, by the way, is just
Coaching.
just got picked up by the Raiders. All right.
I mean, that's
So-
not that fair. That's not that fair of a con.
Also, and here's the last one.
Kinda.
Comfort and the comfort in the players should dissuade ownership instead of encourage the ownership to pick them. So basically, part of the reasons why the rumors are saying the Dallas Cowboys has picked it is because the comfortability with the players and the head coach, right? That should dissuade the ownership, because all it's going to mean is that they're going to get to that same spot to the playoffs, and they're just going to drop off again, right? You need somebody that's going to push them. That not somebody that's going to be like, all right, this guy, well, like we
Give
want
me a
this
hug.
guy or whatever like that.
Come here, give me a hug.
Yeah.
I
All
know
right,
how
that
you
was the
feeling.
last one.
Okay,
as
come
far
on,
as cons go.
come on, give me.
So we had 6 cons.
Right.
Some of your cons,
7.
I would say,
That was-
some of your cons, I would say, aren't necessarily his fault, because you said one of the cons was
He wasn't hired last time.
player personnel, right? One of your cons was almost player personnel.
Player person, you talking about the last one?
No, your first one or your second one. It was about player personnel almost.
No, that was about irrelevant because the higher passing was flawed, and last three head coaches searches. One interview
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah. Yeah, that has nothing to do with him though. I don't think that those are fair cons
Well,
on his
no,
jacket.
no. I'm talking about as far as Dallas Cowboys that they never
Okay, you're
hired
talking about Dallas
anybody.
Cowboys.
They don't hire anybody outside
of the
the
family,
organization,
outside the
with the
Yeah,
family.
exception
yeah,
of Mike
yeah.
McCarthy.
I get
Without the
that.
yeah.
But if this is
So
a con on Schottenheimer, I'm saying that's not a fair
it's
con.
that's what I'm saying. It's not really a con on Schottenheimer, but it's like mainly a con because of the fact that they picked him and they haven't really looked outside of the organization, pretty much. Because
Right.
for goodness sake, they were going to Kellen Moore. They know Kellen Moore because he was in the like. They never went to Ben Johnson and even Aaron Glenn, who was somewhat in the organization, but they didn't even go to Aaron Glenn. All right, so here are the pros. All right, so I have just as many pros as I do cons. All right, so
Damn.
if you wanted a if you wanted a culture builder and a CEO, you have the right guy. He was a guy that who bridged the gap between Mike McCarthy and the players, right? So when the players didn't really buying into the Mike McCarthy ordeal, Brian Schottenheimer was the guy to be like, hey, this is what he's thinking, and then he was also the guy that's like, hey, throughout the half this when it's like around the half of the season, he was like, hey, Mike, we got to take a second look at this, you know players are not um, feeding on what you're giving or what you're cooking for them. So we need to change this around. So he's a really good communicator in that regards, right? Details number two. Details are going to get better, right? He's a very detail oriented guy, right? And I'm going to marry this with the another one is that this last one is that all teams that he coached saw declining trends of pre-snap penalties. Three, Russell Wilson's one of the biggest supporters of him, even when as far as saying that his offensive coordinator was not as good as Schottenheimer. And this is back when during Seattle Seahawks.
And
Um, and here's a good one, and this is one I want you guys to pay close attention to. Okay, his play calling may not be as bad as it seems on the surface, right? So,
Oh,
as
really?
a, all right, here we go. So when he was with the Jets, they finished 18, 25, 25th, ninth, 17th, 13th, and 13 in points.
damn. And
Right? So that's pretty bad, right? But over the last 25 seasons, and this is before the Schottenheimer error and after the Schottenheimer error, right? Four of the six best points per game that you just had was with Schottenheimer. So that's mainly saying that sometimes the Jets as organization is probably not as good as they are when it comes to finding offensive talent. The Jets
Mm.
might just so even with Brian's worst season, 9 out of the 13 seasons, Jets has finished worse in his offense, right, than his offense did. So even
damn.
his worst
And
season with the Jets, 9 of the 13 finished worse than his worst season. Okay, another one. 4 out of the 5 quarterbacks that played with him played at least 20 games with Schottenheimer has put out their best numbers. Once again, 4 out of 5 quarterbacks that played at least 20 games with Schottenheimer has put up their best numbers.
damn.
And this can kind of be attributed to him, but when the offense had top 10 offenses, they had their actual quarterbacks, which is with Russell Wilson, even Mark Sanchez and Dak Prescott. So it's not as bad as what you guys, or not you guys, excuse me, not you. It's not as bad as what a lot of people
You mean
say it
you?
is. So, right. So there is something to look
Damn.
forward
And
to, right? So he's very detail oriented. He's an X and O's guys, right? He believes in uh, reduced splits, and he also believes in a lot of motions, and that's something that Jordan, myself, and you have saying like, hey, you need motions in here. This is a very stagnant offense, and he is a proponent of a plethora of motions and everything like that. So those are some pros to go with uh, the cons. So
Okay.
you can take however you want with it, um, you know, but
So you
it's
feel
not
better
all.
about it because
No,
when Schottenheimer, you've been
no,
laying on Schottenheimer ever since we talked about Schottenheimer. He's the worst offensive coordinator ever. He's the worst. Now you kind of
that that that's
rolling it
that's
back.
this that was just my analytical piece from Brian Schottenheimer. Like that's me as an analyst, not me as a fan. All right, so that's
So you was a
something that
fan
he can.
before when you
I'm
said all
still a
that.
fan.
No, he
I'm
was
still a
saying
No,
what
fan.
you
he's
was a
saying.
fan. You were in fan mode when you said all that though,
That's what he's saying.
and you weren't
But
thinking animal.
right. That's what he's saying.
Okay, because look, I like to merge the two. So
So so
I
I'm
was
Some
taking
good
saying,
one
what
or
I
the
was
other.
saying when you was going on the deep end that we just got to give him a shot because we don't know what he looks like with him running the offense with
And
Dak.
and and we don't know.
So
And we don't know him.
and we don't
We
know.
don't.
It could be good and bad. I
Right.
will say
or bad,
one
good
thing.
or bad.
Yeah, it could be good
Right.
or bad. He's never been a guru, right? He's never been a Sean McVay where everyone's always talking about he's such a guru. No one's like you said, no one's sought out to make him a head coach, even though he did have one
Oh,
offer, I
last
think,
one. Last.
as
Oh,
a head coach.
I forgot about this. Speaking of Dulaw, right? So when Brian Schottenheimer, so this is with a who is that coach where he got in trouble with the Jacksonville Jaguars, the head coach? I forgot. It's like starts with them.
You talking about the college coach, whatever.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you might have talking
So
about Go ahead.
I can't remember his name.
anyway,
I know you're talking about.
so Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator for the Jaguars, right? Just letting you know, when he stopped calling, when they fired him, and Schottenheimer was like the acting coach or whatever like that, and he started calling plays for Trevor Lawrence, they had 6 more points per game, and hit all of his stats risen tremendously when Brian Schottenheimer was coaching Trevor Lawrence.
Damn. And
Josh, you
So
need to
Okay.
do more of your research before you start jumping off deep ends, bro.
no,
It sounds like
I'm not.
it sounds like you rolling back everything you said, like you taking it back
No,
slowly.
I still don't like the process on how they. I
I think
still
we all
think there
agree
was
on the process.
Right.
I think
Right.
we agree
better
on the
options
process.
out there.
But
I just
you.
But
say
I should,
when you jump off the deep end.
but whoever's listening to this, this can give you guys hope or whatever like that. You know that a change actually can be coming. Who knows? He can say that he likes reduced splits, and reduced splits. By the way, it's like, all right, you're not doing a spread offense. You're pretty much utilizing your sidelines and stuff like that. And also, he likes motions. He can just very well be like say all this stuff and fluff, and then all of a sudden, it's going to be running through the A gap.
It
You know
sounds
what I
like it's
mean?
gonna be running. I mean, in the press
Right.
conference, he talked about his offense with Seattle, and that's what he kind of wants to do with Dallas. So that tells me maybe he's going to ask to get a running back. I hope we get Gentry, um, and he can go back to that what worked for him the best is you know running the ball because he had Marshawn Lynch, and I don't know how he's gonna do because Dak is not Russell Wilson in the aspect of he don't like to get out of the pocket that much, but maybe he
Not
schemes
anymore.
up.
He doesn't. Not anymore. He began.
Yeah, he's
He
not.
started that
Not
way, but
I'm talking about Russell Wilson. When you talk about Russell Wilson getting out of the pocket, like
oh,
Russell Wilson gets out of the pocket like
right.
almost every play.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
not
He
that.
does the
who he is.
extended play. He extended plays. He's
But
really good at
Yeah,
extending the
let's
play.
be honest.
that's
But
not
is
that.
that a Dak thing, or is that a McCarthy philosophy? Like,
I don't
was Dak
know.
getting out the pocket
No,
a little bit
I'm
more?
saying Schottenheimer. I'm saying Schottenheimer. If he starts trying to run what he had the most success with, which was the Seattle offense, where it's run Marshawn Lynch and kind of motion and have your quarterback get him out of the pocket because Russell's also short, so he's not able to sit in the pocket. I think that's why he doesn't sit in the pocket as much. So you kind of shift your O line, into different formations so he can get out of the pocket and kind of see downfield.
Right.
It helps him extend plays. That's not Dak's forte. I'm not saying that Dak can't do it. I'm just wondering if he tries to implement that and see how what Dak looks like in that. That's all I'm saying. That could be something that we could see that's different. And that it might. I think Dak is really good when does get out of the pocket though.
Yeah,
He's really good on the throwing
especially
the run too.
when he rolls to his right.
Yeah,
That's his but he can roll to his left too. Like, don't get it wrong. Like, he can be deadly with his left too. So like, yeah, it's one of those things. But they need to get a couple of players. Three, I would say, a good. There's about 2 holes that they need to fill if they don't get, or 3 holes they need to fill if they don't re-sign Brandon Cooks. Right? You need a wide receiver,
I don't
a
think they need
running
to
back.
re-sign Brandon Cooks. I don't. I think you need to
So
let Brandon
maybe
Cooks walk.
they
Unless
need
he's
to get
gonna be
somebody in
like
the
your
draft
third string. Unless he's gonna be like your third string receiver. That's the
from
only the way
who.
I bring him back.
Interesting.
Okay, so like, what are you saying? Like, it's gonna be third string, and then who's the fourth string?
Either go get somebody in the draft, or you go get Tyreek Hill if you want to take
That you
shots.
saying you
I'm
talking about second string? I'm talking about
yeah,
fourth
second string.
string. Fourth string. Who's gonna be the fourth
Oh,
string?
fourth string. I kind of like Brooks. I kind of like Flournoy. You know, I
You know,
still
like
keep them
Turpin.
around. Uh, I keep Turpin just because special teams.
Who?
That's
And
the only
then
reason why I keep Turpin.
what about Tolbert?
Tober can go.
Tolbert. What about Tolbert?
That's what he
Tober can
said.
go.
He said Toby can go.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what about Tolbert? Quiet.
Right.
Um,
Who? Look, technically, Josh, technically, they all can go. But for continuity purposes, like I would probably keep just Flournoy because this is only his second year, and I would keep Brooks because we've seen Brooks have good, really, really good games, and we've seen him have okay games. So those are the only two receivers that I would keep. Or outside of I would
Jonathan
keep
Mingo.
Turpin. I would keep Turpin. I don't know about
You
Mingo.
have to keep.
He's too much of a
Yeah,
project. Like
Yeah.
why would I go with Mingo when I have Brooks and I have Flournoy? You know?
how about Anthony
Like
Brown?
That's too much. That's too much work you gonna have to put into him.
yeah. Yeah, and I already have two other guys that one Brooks does give me something. Flournoy, he showed you sparks in training camp. You know, he didn't have enough touches in the season, but he had a few drops too in the season, but it's still development. Why? And I think he's more upside than Mingo. So, yeah, just wipe them all. But if we were gonna start fresh, you really can't even start fresh. Like we don't. I don't think you have enough time on Dak to start fresh. Keep the two. Keep of course, your main guy's not going anywhere. And just for continuity purposes, and play calling, because they know Shoddy, right? I would just probably keep Brooks, and I would probably keep Flournoy. I mean, I don't necessarily. I'm not mad if either one of them gets cut. I think Turpin too, just for special team purposes. Like you can't argue that his impact on special teams for Turpin. So you're gonna have to carry him. If push comes to shove and you're getting rid of everybody, the only person I think you're keeping outside of 88 is Turpin, just for special team purposes alone. Just that.
They just need to have Tyreek Hill
Yeah, if
and
they go
call
get
it a day.
Tyreek Hill or they go get a Diggs, I think that works. I
I
mean,
think that
of
works too.
course Tyreek Hill works. My only thing about Tyreek Hill is just gonna be really really hard to figure out who's gonna get the ball.
All right. Look, that's what's up, and this was going to happen. We're going to come back together in a couple of days, and we're going to talk it about. And I'm going to ask a question today.
They'll
Eberflus.
talk about our defensive coordinator.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to ask you what you think our records could be today, and then when we get our defense settled, I'm going to ask this question again. So, Joshua, how many wins we get in before you know about the defense? Right now, give me a number.
7-12.
Give me a number, Jordan.
7-11. 7-10.
Give me a number,
7-10.
Jordan.
Sorry.
Give me a number, Jordan.
6-11.
6 and 11.
6-8. 6-12.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
I'm going with.
No,
I'm
season-
going.
7 and 10 and 6 and
I'm
11.
going 5. I'm going
Yeah.
5 and 12.
Oh, that's going to under.
I'm going under. Until we get our defense, I'm going under. So that's it. That's it is. Setting it straight with fam, my boys Joshua and Jordan. We're here again, and then we're going to go ahead and shut this down right now. And you guys, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there, hit that like button, so you can come on, so you can get all of our stuff here. 'Cause we are back now. You know, we was gone for a while, but we are back, and we wanted to, to get this stuff started and give y'all the news and how we feel and keeping it straight. There it is.
Wait. So I guess we feel pretty good. Like, how does everybody feel about the hire? You like it? Where your rank? What is your rating? You A, B, C? You a 1, 2, 3?
No, on this hire after Jerry after that, and if you go, it's a D.
Yeah.
A D? Okay.
Yes, D.
So you guys feel like a D.
Yes.
With
Well,
the
coming off
possibility
of
of
Mike
going into,
McCarthy, I'm gonna say a C.
B minus.
I'm gonna say a C coming off Mike McCarthy.
All right. There it is. There it is. You have it, guys. I'm out.